It's the dictionary. 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 It's the dictionary.
Woo! Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. My name is Spencer. On this, it's the first snowfall of the year in Chicago. Oh, there was snow on my car, and I forgot to park it in the garage last night, even though I knew the snow was coming. So I had to brush off that snow, that wonderful, beautiful, white, fluffy snow. It was kind of a weird snow. It had all these tiny little balls, these tiny little white balls in it, and that's mostly what it was made out of. It looked like fake snow. I have to assume that it was like kind of on its way to hail, but it's not hail, it's snow. But it's, all those, it was just weird snow. Just weird snow today. All right, let's talk about the words. The first word in this episode is gam. G-A-M, first form, noun from circa 1785. This is slang. I guess I wouldn't have called it slang, but the synonym is leg. Check out my gams. You can't see my gams because the video doesn't go down that far, but oh, look at these. I got skinny little chicken gams. That's what I got. Why are we using this word for legs? This is from the lingua franca word gamba, which means leg. So that's really it. I mean, it's a gam. Now, are we going to see gamba here? We are, but it's a different thing. It's a whole different thing, so we'll get there. But first, I guess I got to make a sound effect. Let's go. Now we have the second form of gam, which is a noun from 1846. Number 1, a visit or friendly conversation at sea or ashore, especially between whalers. Those whalers are having conversations at sea or on the shore. And you call that a gam? It's a visit or a friendly conversation. Hey, whaler, did you catch any whales today? No, I didn't catch any whales, but I caught a dolphin. Well, you better probably put that dolphin back. Oh, yeah, I definitely put that dolphin back. They don't appreciate it when they get caught. The whales, on the other hand, they're totally cool with it. Are you sure about that? No, maybe you're right. Maybe the whales don't appreciate being caught either. Well, this was a fine gam that we had this morning. I hope you learned something. I did. Number 2, a school of whales. Ah, okay. What? There's something about whales and gams? A school of whales is called a gam? There's part of me that feels like I need to look this up and just be like, what is a school of whales called? Yeah, a pod, but it's also called a gam or a herd or a school or a mob. So a bunch of whales hanging out, having a conversation ashore. They could be 5 terms: school, mob, herd, gam, pod. Pod is the most common. Gam is another term. It is also a nautical term that historically referred to whaling ships visiting each other at sea. So which came first? Let's look at the etymology. This is perhaps short for the obsolete word gammon, which means talk. So was it that like the whales were talking, so that was a gam, or was it the whalers when the boats would come together, like when 2 cops are hanging out in a parking lot together with their cars facing an opposite direction, and they're just chatting about their cop day. So the whaling boats come together and meet up, and they're like, hey, what's going on? And so they're talking, so that was gammon, and it became gam. And then because it was whalers, then they were like, well, the whales are hanging out together, and it's like they're talking. So we're going to call that a gam too? Or one of these other 5 names. Okay, so that was fascinating. If you ever see 2 whales talking to each other, then you can say that that's a gam. And same for whalers, whaling ship, boats. Do they still use it? I don't know. The third form of gam is a verb from 1849. The intransitive is to engage in a gam. Let's go gammon. We're whalers. Let's go have a gam. Let's get to gammon with the whalers. Yep. Transitive, number 1, to have a gam with. Number 2, to spend or pass. What are you passing time? Probably time. Pass time talking. To spend time talking, pass time talking is gam. I guess I have kind of heard that. Just having a gam, just chatting, hanging out. Maybe you're talking over your fence with your neighbor. We're gamming it. Gam it. I think I've probably heard that. Yeah, it's all about talking. Now we have gamma grass. 2 words. Gamma just has 1 M. Noun from 1833. This is a tall, coarse American grass, valuable for forage. It's better than gold because the buffalo can't eat gold, but maybe they can eat this gamma grass. The species name is Tripsacum dactyloides. Great name, and it's probably an alternative of grama, Grama. Don't know what that means. So it's like, grama grass, gamma grass. Next is gamme or gamme. It's gamma with a Y. This is a noun, often capitalized from circa 1941. This is a light, dry, red table wine made from the same grape used for French Beaujolais. The example is Gamay Rosé or Gamay Rosé. Either way, it rhymes, which is pretty great. Gamay Rosé all day. But also, just the grape is the Gamay grape. This is from Gamay, which is a village in Burgundy, and that would be in France. I'm a genius in France because I talk about the dictionary. Next is gamba. Now, is this the word that, yes, so leg comes from the lingua franca word gamba, but this one is spelled the same way, Gamba. It can be pronounced gamba or gamba. It is a noun from 1598, and the synonym is viola da gamba. 3 words, viola da gamba. So I think that's just a regular viola or a similar kind of viola, and which is a little bit bigger than a violin. And sometimes people are just like, oh, look at them play the gamba with their gams. They're playing the gamba with their gams, or they're playing the gamba with their gams. Having a gam with the whales. Next is gambado. Gambado, first form, noun from circa 1656. This is a horseman's legging. We definitely are seeing a connection between gam and legs, for sure. A horseman's legging. So, yeah, this is from the Italian gambale, which is from gamba, which means leg. And so you're putting on... What is a horseman's legging? Is it the pants that they're wearing? Are those the type of pants that really flare out on the sides that I've seen in movies? Oh, my shoe squeaked. I've seen in movies people are wearing these pants, these very, very fancy horse riders, and I don't understand what is the point of these pants. I'm sure there's some good reason, but I don't know. Maybe I just need to look up a picture of these horseman's leggings called the gambado. And let's just see what they look like. Let's see. A pair of long protective leggings for a rider's legs, or a type of gaiter for a house. No, a horse. But wow, I'm seeing a lot of stuff. What's with the kids' play area with the balls and the bumper cars and the slides? What is Gambato play, and what is this? I wanted to see the pants. Gambato pants. Let's just look that up. I don't know. These are looking like cargo pants and other types of pants. I mean, I guess you got to protect your legs when you're riding horses, because if you're really holding on to their torso real tight, there could be some friction. So you need to wear your gambatos. Now we have the second form of gambato. It is a noun from 1820. Number 1, a spring of a horse. A spring of a horse. Is this when they they put their legs up in the air? Is that the spring? I don't know. But number 2, the synonyms are caper and gambol, spelled Gambol, which will be at the end of this episode. So I guess we'll get to learn about that, and maybe it's similar to the spring of a horse? Well, the etymology says this is modified of the French gambade, and there's more at the word gambol, Gambol. So that is what we have to look forward to just in a little bit. Next, we have gambier, 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 or you can take out the E. This is a noun from 1830. It's a yellowish catechu, 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 that is obtained from a tropical Southeast Asian woody vine of the madder family and is used for chewing with the betel nut and for tanning and dyeing. The species name of the woody vine, this is not a woody vine, but it is obtained from the woody vine. The species name for that is Uncaria gambier. Aha. So it's a, what is a catechu? I don't remember that at all. Catechu. It's like a Pikachu? No. What is a catechu? It's an astringent extract from the heartwood of the acacia tree. But I guess there's maybe different kinds. And I think we can also just look up Gambier catechu. It's an extract. Substance extracted from the leaves and twigs of the Uncaria gambier shrub. It is rich in tannins and has been used traditionally for its astringent properties in herbal medicine, such as for diarrhea, and to make natural dyes and products like lozenges for sore throats, which I have a little bit. I got a cough going because I'm getting over a cold, and maybe I need some of this Gambier catechu. There's these rocks. They look like rocks. Interesting. Okay, so you get it from the Uncaria gambier shrub Asian woody vine thing. It's a Malay word, so maybe that's where you find it. Next is gambit. Noun from 1656. Number 1, a chess opening in which a player risks one or more pawns or a minor piece to save an advantage in position. Well, there was that show, The Queen's Gambit. I did not fully understand what that meant. I don't remember if they ever described the title in the show. I guess if you know chess, then that phrase makes sense. I still don't fully understand it. Is it that you're sacrificing the queen in that context? The Queen's Gambit? The queen? I'm not sure. But a chess opening in which a player risks one or more pawns or a minor piece. I guess a minor piece would be like the knight, the bishop, the rook. Probably not the queen or the king, but I guess maybe you could. You're like, hey, I'm playing crazy here today. I'm risking my queen. 2A1, This is a remark intended to start a conversation or make a telling point. What context is this used in? Just in general, just to start a conversation. Hey, I'm gonna tell you my gambit just so we can get this conversation going. How's the weather? What a great gambit. We can all talk about the weather. 2A2, the synonym is topic. So just any sort of topic is a gambit? 2B, a calculated move, and the synonym is stratagem. So that seems definitely connected to the chess thing. But also, I guess I could see how, a stratagem, a strategy, your calculated move when you go to talk to somebody or start up a conversation or have a topic in mind. It's like, yeah, I'm strategizing sort of how this conversation is going to go. So it's all a gambit. It's all a gambit. Why was the Marvel character named Gambit? Was he playing a lot of chess? Was he talking, having conversations and talking about topics? Was he making calculated moves? I don't know enough about him. I know that he's, Creole, and he's got cards and maybe a staff or something. Let's just look it up. Why was the Marvel character named? Oh, see, it knows I'm talking about Gambit somehow because I didn't even have to type a lot, and it already started throwing things in about Gambit. What's going on there? Is it because I looked up Gambier? The Marvel character Gambit was named after a gambit, which is a strategic chess move where a player sacrifices a piece for greater advantage. This name reflects his abilities and his con artist-like nature as he manipulates potential energy into kinetic energy, a process described as sacrificing potential energy for a more advantageous kinetic burst. Okay. Thank you for the description. I hope the AI is correct. If you are a Marvel fan and you have a different idea, please let me know. All right, so let's look at the etymology. There's a couple of lines of etymology. This is from the Italian gambetto, which literally is act of tripping someone. So if you are tripping someone in Italy, you are doing a gambetto. Well, our legs are coming back into this because it's from the gamba word, which means leg, and so the gambetto is tripping their legs. That's where it's all coming together. From the lower Latin gamba or kamba, from the Greek campi, which means bend, and your legs bend, maybe most of us. Probably akin to the Gothic word hamphs, which means maimed. Maimed? I mean, maybe if you're tripped, you got maimed. Also from the Lithuanian kampas, which means corner. I don't know. Bend in a corner. Interesting. Your knee makes a corner when it's bent. Lots of things going on. But how that became gambit and the chess opening and strategy and all those things, I don't know. But I am fascinated to learn. Let's move on to the next word. It's gambol, Gamble, first form, verb from 1772, starting with intransitive. 1A. To play a game for money or property. Ooh, it's one thing to play for money, but to play for property? Here, I'm just going to bet my house. I mean, people do this. People do this all the time. Movies have taught me that people are constantly betting their car, their house, their boat. They got things. They're like, I don't care. I got plenty of these things. It's not a problem at all. Let's just gamble the house. All right, I would never do that. 1B is to bet on an uncertain outcome. To bet on an uncertain outcome. So the first one, play a game for money or property, that would be like, playing a poker game or something like that. But this second one is like, I think that this horse is going to win the race. Win the race? Win the race with its gams, and it's maybe doing maybe the person riding the horse is wearing gambados. So that would be an uncertain outcome. We don't know how it's going to go. I think it's going to go this way, and I'm going to put some money or property on it. Number 2, to stake something on a contingency. To stake something on a contingency, also take a chance. I'm going to take a chance. Now, what is a specific situation? To stake something on a contingency, like, this thing might happen. I'm going to stake this money, stake this property. I'm going to put this up in this possible situation. Seems kind of similar to bet on an uncertain outcome, but I don't know enough about this, about the details. Transitive. Number 1, to risk by gambling. The synonym is wager. Number 2, the synonyms are venture and hazard. Gambling can be very hazardous to your health. Gambler is a noun. There's that classic song, The Gambler. Can I think of how it goes without having to look it up? It's about talking about being on a train on a warm winter day. Da 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 da. Ba-doo doo doo ba-doo boo. Ba-doo doo boo ba-doo boo. Ba-doo doo boo ba-boo ba ba-ba-doo ba-ba-diddle diddle boop. You gotta know when to hold 'em. All right, we're done with that. This is probably a back formation from the word gambler. So gambler came first and then gamble? Doesn't say what language we're talking about. Probably alternative of the obsolete word gamner, from the obsolete gammon, which means to play. So that's all it is. Gammon looks a whole lot like the word game. Let's see. Game is going to be in the next episode. Are we going to have gammon or gammon in the episode after that? Let's see. We got some other game words here. No, I'm not seeing gammon or gammon because I guess that it is obsolete. Is that yeah? It's obsolete. And gamner. So game, play. That's all it is. When you're gambling, you're playing games. You're playing games literally, and you're also playing games with your money and your life and your future and maybe your relationships. It's a very tricky thing to do. It's very hazardous, like I said. Now we have the second form of gamble, which is a noun from 1823. Number 1A, an act having an element of risk. So, that was a gamble, because there's some risk when you walked across the street without looking for cars. Ooh, that's a gamble. Ugh. Don't do it. 1B, something chancy is a gamble. Number 2, the playing of a game of chance for stakes. So not just playing a game of chance for fun and there's no stakes. No, there gotta be stakes involved. Not the meat stakes. It's the stakes like, you might lose something. You might lose your stakes when you're playing a game of chance. But also, when you're going to a casino and you're playing a lot of games and maybe losing a lot of money, you might get some free stakes because they're like, we got so much money from you. Here, have some free food. Have some free drinks. Have a free room, maybe. Because it don't hurt us none. Because we got all your money already. Gamble. Next we have gamboge or gambouge. Gamboge. Noun from 1712. Number 1. An orange to brown gum resin from Southeast Asian trees of the St. John's wort family that is used as a yellow pigment and cathartic. So you're using it in dyes. It seems like a lot of these things are used for dyes, but also medicine. So maybe perfumes and other scented and flavored things. A cathartic. Is that to just chill you out? That would make sense to me. So you can become cathartic and have a catharsis and other words that are related to that. The genus name for the tree that this comes from is Garcinia. Garcinia. The gamboge comes from Garcinia. And number 2, a strong yellow is a gamboge. Why have I never heard of this word when it comes to color? I feel like there's probably a lot of words that I am not familiar with when it comes to colors. I thought I had heard them all, but maybe not. Yes, this gamboge. I mean, it sounds like it comes straight from this tree in Cambodia, but yeah, it looked kind of like a mustardy yellow, kind of a deep yellow, not quite as bright as, your typical mustard, your yellow mustard, but it's also not quite as brown as your brown mustard. It's kind of in the middle. The gamboge. Oh man, gotta remember this. I gotta remember these. If you're curious, the HSV values, the hue, saturation, V is what? Why am I blanking on the V? Value? No. Is it value? The numbers are 39%, 93%. No, sorry, 39 degrees, 93%, and 89%. And the RGB is 228, 155, 15. Why doesn't it give me the hex code number for this one? I would like to know. But anyway, that's gamboge. All right, next. Oh, we got to look at the etymology. It is from the New Latin gambogium, which is an alternative of cambugium, which is from or akin to the Portuguese word Camboja, which means Cambodia. So the word just comes from the word that means Cambodia, which is where this is from, Southeast Asia. Oh, that's very interesting. That's an odd etymology. So I guess that the people in Cambodia didn't name this. Somebody else named it. The first form. This now is the first form of the word gambol, spelled Gambol. And if we go back to the beginning of this episode, there was something about the gambol. Here it is. The gambado, or the gambado, actually. It's the spring of a horse, or the synonym gambol, which is what? Let's see. So that was the noun. So I guess we got to wait until we get to the noun form of gambol. But this form is the verb. It's an intransitive verb from 1508, and it is to skip about in play. The synonyms are frisk and frolic. Frisk and frolic. Hey, let's go out gambling about town. Let's paint the town red while we gamble about, waving our arms in the air, because that seems like something that we should do when we are gambling. We're not playing cards of chance. No. We are frisking and frolicking about. That's what we're doing. Deal with it. So there's no etymology there, but we do have the next word. It's the second form of gambol, which is a noun from circa 1510. This is a skipping or leaping about in play. So that's really all this is. I do think I've heard of this before. Not a common word when it comes to this action, gambling. Let's look at the etymology. This is modified of the Middle French gambade, which means spring of a horse. Also gambol, probably from the Old Occitan camba, which means leg. So when you're doing things with your legs, look at me, I'm doing things with my legs right now. I'm a horse and I'm springing about. So yes, I think when the horses are doing their bouncing around, that's the gambol. And so the gambado is when the horse is springing and bouncing and having fun and frisking and frolicking and playing like we all should be doing all the time. Let's move on to one more word for this episode. It's gambrel, Gambrel. Noun from 1547. This is a stick or iron for suspending slaughtered animals. Don't like this whatsoever. This is from the Middle French dialect, the Norman dialect word gambrel, which is from gamb, Gambe, which means leg. So would they like stick the leg on the thing to hang them? Maybe. So this was the leg episode. That is what I have learned for sure. Lots of leg talk today. If you got legs, you know how to use them or something. Anyway, let's pick a word of the episode. Today we had gamagrass, game, gamba, gambedo, gambir, gambit, gambol, gamboge, gamble, and gambrel. Ooh, well, this is kind of hard. I mean, I think maybe I should pick gambol, Gambol, because it's all about friskin' and frolicking. Let's go have a gamble. We're friskin' and frolicking today. Let's have a gamble while we're drinking some game. Yeah, wow, he did it again. I shall tell you about another movie that I watched, and the next one on the list is the new John Candy documentary called John Candy, I Like Me. And the cool thing when I saw this documentary was not that I saw it at home. That was not the cool thing. I did not see it at home, in fact. I think I did mention this at some point. I think I mentioned this in one of the pre-G episodes because I think I said, just last night I did this thing, and so if you missed that, I'm so sorry. But I went to the Chicago theater before the movie was released to the world, and because they were touring this movie across the country, and it was presented and semi-hosted by Ryan Reynolds. He was there. I got to see him from a distance. And actually, I got to see him from a closer distance afterwards because I did decide, I was like, oh, there's some people by the theater door on the side. I will just hang out for a few minutes and see. And he came out and he sort of looked and he said, hello, people. And then he got in his car and he left. And did I get a picture? I think I got a picture. But he was there. There was a host and there was John Candy's son. And the special guest was Jim Belushi, Chicago guy who worked with John Candy, I think, on at least one or two projects. And, you should see this documentary. It's so good. And he was a fascinating fella. And he was a nice guy. And a little bit troubled in certain ways, I guess. And had to deal with sometimes with people saying some stupid stuff to him. But gone too early, very talented, very funny, and wish he was still around. I would have loved to see all of the stuff that he did with the world, but he just kind of overdid it at the end. Also in the audience, not too far behind me, was John Hughes' son was there, and of course John Candy was in, I think, at least one or two John Hughes movies. And, he's based in Chicago, and so his son was there, and that was very cool. Anyway, go watch that documentary, I Like Me. This has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.